Hi, my name is Sherry Sanders, and I'm a county extension agent working in the field of agriculture for the University of Arkansas System Division of Agriculture, and this is Agriculture. Agriculture is a program where we celebrate women working in the field of agriculture in the state of Arkansas. This month's guest is Taylor Wiseman. Taylor is the Executive Director of the Arkansas FFA Foundation, and this is Taylor's story.
So during that year serving as a national officer, a third of it really is spent kind of training and getting ready for the events that you do throughout the year. A third of it's with FFA members, and then a third of that year really is with the donors and supporters. So that would be kind of the first experience that I had of sitting in front of someone, telling the FFA story, sharing stories of members that I had met out on my travels of how this organization had changed their life and really impacted their future plans, and then ask if they would continue to support us or come alongside us. So that was really cool to be able to experience that. We met with donors that had been supporting FFA for 75 years, and then we were meeting with donors that had never really heard of FFA, but they cared about the future and the career and talent pipeline. And then we would meet with individual donors, and so it was really incredible to kind of have that experience. And I remember thinking like, oh, there's people that get paid to do this and tell the FFA story. And so when this opportunity came around to lead the FFA Foundation, it felt almost like I got to pick up that work I started many years ago and just continue to tell the story, and knowing that now I'm not in the blue jacket, but I get to talk about all of our 18,000 FFA members and all the great work that they do. So after I wrapped up that year, I headed back to SAU. I had about a year and a half left of my degree in agriculture business. I kept taking Spanish classes, which worked out because when I was the national president, I got to visit Puerto Rico FFA and speak at their convention as well, and then got to go intern in Mexico that following summer and teach agriculture. It was kind of like a 4-H program that had been established at a children's home, and so I got to give them little pullets that they would raise and teach them about egg production. And I joke that was probably the best experience I had speaking Spanish, because these 4-year-olds and I spoke about the same, cadence and language, and so they could understand me, I could understand them, but really just loved that experience and so glad I had that international exposure. And it's cool that agriculture can connect us to so many people across the globe. It truly was the first profession of man on this earth was to take care of the land. And so, when you talk about growing and raising livestock and raising plants, like that's a way to connect with anyone on the face of the earth, and it's pretty cool. So came back to SAU, I graduated there, and then after went to the University of Arkansas and studied for my Master's of Agricultural Economics. And that was something I was encouraged to do. I was told if I ever had a desire to have a master's, like going right out of my bachelor's could be a really great opportunity. So I was fortunate to be able to go up there and study rice trade in Southeast Asia. Was my focus, but really through those classes learned so many technical skills of how do you just look at all the data that we have in agriculture and again tell a story or use it to impact a decision that's made, if it's at the producer level all the way up to a trade policy level.